Hey, how's it going everyone? This is the Anime Man. So, last week I had the privilege to attend the premiere of the Attack on Titan live action movie that has been making a huge scene in the anime community because it was the movie that we kinda didn't really ask for, but we were like, hey, they're making an Attack on Titan live action movie. Cool, I'm sure it's gonna be great. And I had the same idea when I went to go watch it at this premiere. But lo and behold, it was an absolute piece of shit movie. Now, I could easily just go off on a 20-minute rant to tell you guys how bad this movie is, but I think today I'm actually gonna need help from a buddy of mine. So I brought my friend Chris along to help me give some points and to try and hopefully tell you guys just how bad this movie is. Chris?
Thanks, Joey. Or rather, let's not thank anyone for anything ever again, because this movie was absolutely terrible. Where do I begin? I mean, I really wanted to start at the actual beginning and go, oh my gosh, the beginning of this movie was so freaking boring. Like, it opens up, and there's a field, I'm like, alright, cool, a field. I like fields. Fields are awesome. But then they start playing this music that just makes you want to fall asleep. And I'm like, okay, is this an action movie or is this a lullaby? I don't know.
And speaking of the beginning, did you guys see the Colossal Titan? Like, in the anime, that Colossal Titan was like, oh, okay, that's a big ass Titan. That looks scary as shit. But when they translated that into live action, it was like, we didn't have a huge budget with this. Like, it was so evident as to how bad that CG was. I mean, the CG for the entire movie was subpar at best, but when I saw that Colossal Titan, and when I saw the Titans in general, I was just like, I think you guys needed a little bit more time to work on this.
The Titans, though. First of all, there's a baby Titan in this movie. Where did that come from? Even if there was some kind of lore that said that the Titans were like hatched or born somehow, how does that work if you literally said in the movie earlier they don't have reproductive organs and they don't reproduce? Where did the baby come from? Titans should not be walking around laughing. No, they don't enjoy it. They're mindless creatures. They're too expressive in this movie. Like, that's what I think kind of takes me out of it too, is the Titans themselves are not scary. The Titans themselves are just really silly. I know some of the Titans in the universe are just really silly looking people, and yeah, they're naked without any appendages. And yeah, that works in the anime because they show them being creepy and doing really creepy things. But in this, they're like, they're doing too much. That's not a Titan. That's a creepy grandparent.
And if you thought the regular Titans looked bad, oh, you will be amazed as to what Titan form Eren looks like. Because the moment I saw Titan form Eren, as Chris said, it looks cool for the first 6 seconds, but then you take a closer look and it's like, that's a rubber suit. Seriously, they're going back to freaking 1950s Godzilla movie days of just putting a guy in a rubber suit, and they don't even bother to try and cover that shit up with CG, because when they show a close-up of Eren's face in the Titan form, it is so obvious that it's a freaking rubber latex suit. Like, the folds look rubbery as all hell, and it just takes away from the really serious tone that that particular scene is supposed to have with with Titan form Eren. It's blasphemous.
The acting was over the top, but it wasn't over the top in a fun way. It was over the top in the wrong moments kind of way. When something's supposed to be dramatic or horrifying or scary, they took a break to do something stupid.
And speaking of characters, as Chris said, there is a lot of things that I found problematic about the characters. Like, the personalities are one thing as well, but like, just the way that they portrayed each character from the anime to the live action was horribly done.
Frankly, I don't care about a single person on the screen. I don't even really know who they are, to be honest with you, because they didn't really give it a real build to give these characters any kind of real personality. Like, when you say Armin and Eren for the first time, you don't know who's who. They look exactly the same because they gave them the same haircuts.
And now, another point which I thought was kind of interesting rather than bad was the inclusion of the character that apparently replaced Levi. Now, whether you take this as a good or bad thing, I'm just going to say that his character even though he wasn't in the original story, is the most interesting character in the movie. But his inclusion in the story is just awkward as hell. There is a scene where he is trying to get into this romantic tension between Mikasa and Eren. Pretty much, he goes in and kind of takes Mikasa away from Eren, and Eren freaks the hell out. Unfortunately, that scene doesn't exist in the anime, and it is extremely awkward. Another awkward scene that I remember is when one of the troops, literally, and I'm not going to sugarcoat any of this, tries to rape Eren. Yeah, I'm not joking.
So there's a point in this movie where there's like a partial, I call it a love scene, if you will, and it does not work at all because they make a point to like do a close-up of the girl's butt and keep focusing on her butt instead of there being really any kind of emotion between the characters. And in fact, that whole love scene doesn't work at all because they didn't even build up any kind of romance at all. She's like, I want you to be the father of my child. And then she dies and you're kind of like, yeah, I kind of saw that coming and I don't really care.
And speaking of unnecessarily awkward scenes, I found that the movie was, in general, just unnecessarily gory. Like, they threw in gore just for the sake of gore. Like, they didn't even give a fuck about what kind of effect it would give the viewers, because some scenes where, like, you know, people were being thrown into a wall by a titan, or like literally getting stepped on by a titan, or getting eaten by a titan, I actually found myself going like, it was just unnecessary. Like, they didn't need to do that. Sure, the anime was gory, even though I've seen way gorier stuff, but it was like they tried to just add in all of this gore just to make that scene more serious or dramatic. Like, there are some scenes where it's like, the gore literally flies at you. Like, there are some scenes where a guy would get killed by a titan and the blood would literally splatter onto the screen. For one thing, you are breaking the fourth wall unnecessarily, and that really takes the audience out of this movie and out of the kind of world that they are trying to throw you into with this movie. And second of all, it's like, yeah, we get it, he's dead. You don't have to cover the entire fucking screen in blood, like, bleh!
Again, let's go back to the overacting. The overacting is part of the thing that really makes the movie really lose a lot of its sting. It's because there'll be scenes where you really should be engaged, you really should care, and you really should be feeling some kind of emotion. But instead, you get taken out of it every single time. Every scene that Sasha is in, she ruins it. Absolutely ruins it. It's like no one told her what kind of movie she should be in. It's just freaking awful.
Chris, you alright, dude?
I need a second.
Anyways, let us know in the comments below what you thought about the Attack on Titan movie if you saw it. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? And if you haven't seen it yet, would you like to watch it? Or maybe you'd like to skip out on this one. Also, big thank you to my buddy Chris Sanders for helping me out with this video. If you guys would like to check out some really awesome rant and discussion videos about anime, gaming, nerdy culture in general, then you'll really love his channel and his videos. He's super awesome dude, so go check him out. Either click this annotation or the link to his channel is in the description below. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. As always, like, favorite if you enjoy. Subscribe for Anime Van. I'll see you guys next video, whatever I make. Keep watching anime. Ciao!